Now people are mourning the loss of its creator, rapper Archie Eversole, his own brother now accused in his murder.
From the blood-soaked streets of the 90s to the bodies dropping in 25. Part 1 already left you speechless. But Part 2 is darker, colder, more ruthless. We're picking up right where we left off and diving deeper into the unending body count of hip-hop. The young kings, the rising stars, and the legends who never saw it coming. Drive-bys that erased futures overnight. Robberies that turned into executions. Beefs that ended with 20-plus bullets. And some cases that still have zero answers years later. This episode hits harder. The stories get more brutal. The names get closer to today, if you haven't already. Smash that subscribe button right now so you don't miss a single name. Hit the bell, turn on notifications. 42. The Jacka. Shahid Akbar, widely known by the stage name The Jacka, was a pillar of the San Francisco Bay Area rap scene since his debut with the group Mob Figaz and his later explosion with the hit Glamorous Lifestyle on the Tear Gas album. As the owner of the Artist Records label, he was described by relatives as a generous person, always ready to help, giving away shoes, and creating jobs for those around him without making enemies. Ironically, on February 2, 2015, while enjoying a fun moment and freestyling with friends in a van in East Oakland, the Jacka was shot and killed. His unjust death was deemed by his godbrother to be the result of stray, nameless bullets, and to this day, this murder remains an unsolved mystery. 43. Chinx. Lionel Pickens, also known as Chinx, was a member of the riot squad who suffered the shock of losing his close friend Stack Bundles in 2007 and had strived to revive his career by signing with French Montana's record label. It seemed success had finally smiled upon him when his track was in heavy rotation on the major hip-hop radio station Hot 97. But on May 17, 2015, New York police found Chinx slumped with multiple gunshot wounds inside a car in Queens. The 31-year-old artist was rushed to Jamaica Medical Center, but did not survive. Two suspects currently incarcerated for other crimes, Jamar Hill and Quincy Homer, were later accused of hunting Chinx down like an animal in retaliation for disputes dating back to their time at Rikers Island, though both firmly denied the charges, and the case has yet to fully go to trial. 44. Mr. 32. Christopher Barrier, famous under the stage name Mr. 32, was a crucial piece of many hit Southern hip-hop groups like the Convicts, Southside Players, and Screwed Up Click. His fateful night occurred at a gas station parking lot in Southwest Houston, where he unfortunately got into a heated argument with a man named Vincent Stredick. In a fit of rage, Stredick retrieved a shotgun from his vehicle and shot Barrier point blank in the head, taking the life of this talented rapper. Justice was finally served in 2018 when the killer was convicted by the court and sentenced to 30 years in prison for his cruel act. 45. Bankroll Fresh. Trentavious White, widely known to audiences by the stage name Bankroll Fresh, began to draw significant attention with his 2015 single Walked In and later his hit All There featuring Jeezy. His rising career was tragically cut short on March 4, 2016, right at the Street Execs recording studio in Atlanta. A fierce argument broke out between him and a childhood friend named No Plug, leading to a horrifying shooting. Bankroll Fresh was severely injured and rushed to Hughes Spalding Hospital, but all life-saving efforts were in vain, closing the chapter on a star on the rise. 46. XXXTentacion. Yassé Onfroy, known worldwide as XXXTentacion, was a pioneering artist who created a massive impact on the emo rap and SoundCloud rap movements despite a personal life fraught with controversy. The life of this new generation idol was brutally snatched away on June 18, 2018, when he had just turned 20, while leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida. XXXTentacion was ambushed by two gunmen in a violent robbery attempt. The robbers opened fire, killing the talented rapper, but the price they had to pay was life in prison without parole for the three main suspects, handed down in March 2023, bringing a sliver of comfort to the millions of fans mourning him. 47. Jimmy Wopo. Sharing a mournful day of death with XXXTentacion, Trayvon Smart, stage name Jimmy Wopo, was a highly promising rapper from Pittsburgh who made a huge splash on the charts with his breakout single Elm Street in 2016. On the exact day of June 18, 2018, while driving his car on the street, Wopo became the target of a brutal shooting that instantly took his life. Contrary to the successful investigative progress in XXXTentacion's case, the death of Jimmy Wopo remains at a dead end with no suspects charged by the police, making this one of the unfinished murder cases of the hip-hop world. 48. Young Greatness. Theodore Jones, a famous rapper with the stage name Young Greatness and the hit Moolah released in 2015, is another victim of the gun violence epidemic raging in the U.S. On October 29, 2018, while in the parking lot of a Waffle House restaurant in New Orleans, he was sneak attacked and shot in the back, dying on the spot. The case was quickly investigated by the police, leading to the arrest of 3 suspects in March 2019, including Donald Rowe, Donnie Maxwell, and a minor. By early 2023, justice was served when a jury sentenced Donald Rowe to life in prison for murdering this talented artist. 49. Nipsey Hussle. Ermias Asghedom, better known as Nipsey Hussle, was not only a Grammy-winning rapper, but also an activist, philanthropist, and entrepreneur who powerfully inspired the South Los Angeles community through his Marathon clothing store. On the afternoon of March 31, 2019, he was savagely murdered right outside this beloved store by Eric Holder, a member of the Rollin' 60s gang. The root of the tragedy stemmed from Nipsey accusing Holder of being a snitch, causing him to leave in a rage and return with a gun, firing at least 10 shots and ruthlessly kicking the victim in the head before fleeing. Although the killer was later sentenced to 60 years in prison, the departure of Nipsey Hussle still left an unfillable void and a massive shock for the entire United States. 50. Pop Smoke. Bashar Jackson, the shining star bearing the stage name Pop Smoke, was largely responsible for blending UK drill music with the Brooklyn style to expand its influence internationally. While at the peak of his fame and having flown to Los Angeles to celebrate and promote his second album in February 2020, he became the victim of a chilling home invasion at his rented Airbnb. The robbers opened fire, taking the young artist's life just to steal a Rolex watch, which they later sold for a meager $2,000 to split a few $100 among themselves, a fraction of the value of a human life. Police later arrested 5 individuals, including 3 adults and 2 minors, closing the story of one of the most outrage-inducing deaths of the decade. 51. FBG Duck. Carlton Weekly, bearing the stage name FBG Duck, began his career in 2013 amidst the booming drill music scene in Chicago and achieved glory in 2018 thanks to the hit Slide, a track that was later remixed by 21 Savage. After spending the last 5 years of his life incredibly active, releasing 4 albums and countless singles with the Flyboy Gang, his life was savagely taken on August 4, 2020. A brazen shooting broke out right in the middle of a high-end shopping district with luxury boutiques near Chicago's downtown Gold Coast, where 4 killers stepped out of a car and fired at Carlton before fleeing, injuring both his girlfriend and another shopper. Federal investigators linked this shocking attack to a brutal gang war, leading to the arrest of 6 members of a notorious gang who were officially convicted in 2024 of committing a contract killing. 52. King Von. Davon Daquan Bennett, the rap star widely known as King Von, was an artist under Lil Durk's Only the Family record label and possessed triple platinum hits like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O. Although he built his reputation in his hometown of Chicago, moving to Atlanta led him to a tragic end. In the early morning of October 6, 2020, a brawl broke out in the parking lot of the Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue, escalating into a bloody shooting between 2 rival groups, reportedly connected to the prior FBG Duck case. King Von suffered multiple gunshot wounds and was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. The shooter, 22-year-old Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, was arrested, but by 2023, all charges against him were dropped under Georgia's Stand Your Ground self-defense law. 53. Huey. Lawrence Franks Jr., an American rapper originally from St. Louis famous under the stage name Huey, was another victim whose life was stolen by gun violence at the young age of 32. On June 25, 2020, Franks and a 21-year-old companion were standing in front of his home in Kinloch, Missouri, when they were suddenly attacked by gunfire. Both men were rushed to the hospital, but sadly, Huey took his last breath the following day due to his severe injuries. 54. M.O.3. Melvin Abdul Noble Jr., known to the public by the stage name M.O.3 and particularly famous for his airy-body collaboration with Boozy Badazz in 2019, experienced an incredibly terrifying final moments of life. On the morning of November 11, 2020, while driving on a highway in Dallas, he was chased and forced to stop his car in the center lane. The tailing vehicle driven by Kee-One Dontrell White also stopped, approaching Noble's car. The rapper tried to reach for a weapon to defend himself, but failed, forcing him to open the door and flee south along the highway. The ruthless killer continued his pursuit and fired multiple rifle shots, taking down the artist right on the road. Although the main suspect, Kee-One Dontrell White, and his accomplice, Devin Morris Brown, were arrested in December 2020 and April 2021, respectively. This case currently remains open pending trial. 55. Robert J. Martinez III. Robert J. Martinez III was a young rapper who had to trade his life for a completely senseless and absurd reason. Scheduled on January 19, 2020, he was set to perform at the Living the Dream concert alongside 19 other artists, but an argument broke out between him and a 19-year-old youth named Kieran Christopher Williams. The conflict peaked when loud gunshots rang out. Although some witnesses didn't clearly see the exact moment the trigger was pulled, many others have affirmed that Williams intentionally shot Martinez dead, then continued firing into the crowd, injuring 6 others. The killer was arrested and confessed he fired because Martinez threatened to kill him over a minor bump, leading to Williams being indicted in a case that is still under investigation. 56. Young Dolph. Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., a Memphis hip-hop icon with the stage name Young Dolph, had made a massive splash since his 2016 debut album, King of Memphis. On a fateful afternoon on November 17, 2021, while the artist was shopping inside his favorite bakery, Makeda's homemade butter cookies in his hometown, 2 armed men drove up in a white Mercedes-Benz and cold-bloodedly opened fire. Young Dolph took 22 bullets and collapsed on the spot. Police apprehended 3 related suspects, including Justin Johnson, Shundale Barnett, and Cornelius Smith. On September 26, 2024, Justin Johnson was sentenced to life in prison for this crime, while Cornelius Smith, who confessed, is still awaiting trial. 57. Drakeo the Ruler. Daryl Wayne Caldwell, praised by the Los Angeles Times for having the most original rap style on the West Coast in decades, thanks to his unique rhythm and poetic lyrics, had his life gruesomely stripped away under the stage name Drakeo the Ruler. On the night of December 18, 2021, right backstage at the Once Upon a Time in LA Music Festival, where he was preparing to perform, Caldwell and his entourage were mob-attacked by a group of 40 to 60 masked individuals. He suffered multiple fatal stab wounds leading to his death, causing major stars like Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent to cancel their sets and forcing the festival to shut down. The poor security led the victim's family to file a lawsuit against organizers like Live Nation for wrongful death due to negligence, while authorities continue to investigate this complex murder case. 58. Slim 400. Vincent Koren, a German-born rapper raised in Los Angeles bearing the stage name Slim 400, was once praised by the media as a true ambassador of the traditional Compton gangster rap lineage. Tragedy struck around 7:50 p.m. on December 8, 2021, when the rapper had just stepped out of his vehicle on 7th Avenue in Inglewood. Police officers patrolling the area heard gunshots and found him slumped on the ground. Although he was given first aid and rushed to the hospital, Slim 400 could not survive. Authorities later arrested Michael Terry on murder and weapons charges, along with accomplice Tamara Bell, although to this day the motive behind this brutal shooting has never been revealed. 59. Gonzo. Ronald Moore, a veteran rapper with the stage name Gonzo, given to him by legendary Tupac Shakur himself, was a former member of the group Caucion, who later joined the Outlaws. Beyond music, he also proved his business acumen by co-founding a boxing league with rapper Bosco 100 and reaping much success. However, on July 30th, 2021, Ronald was shot 3 times in the chest near a gas station in Seattle, Washington. Bearing fatal wounds, the artist still managed to drag himself to the gas station before collapsing. He was rushed to the hospital but ultimately passed away, leaving behind a dead-end murder case where police have yet to find any suspects. 60. Snootie Wild. LaPreston Porter, an artist who made a name for himself with the stage name Snootie Wild through his smash hit Yayo, quickly advanced in his career by signing with Epic Records CMG in 2013 and releasing many quality musical projects. A cruel fate struck on February 25, 2022, when Porter was found slumped in a ditch in Houston with a gunshot wound straight through his neck. The rapper was rushed to the emergency room in extremely critical condition, but took his last breath the following day. Although law enforcement arrested and charged suspect Ivory Duke Williams with murder, this gruesome case remains open as they continue to clarify the lingering mysteries. 61. Archie Eversole. Arthur Lee, a rapper known to the public by the stage name Archie Eversole, and particularly famous for his 2002 single We Ready, experienced haunting final moments of life. On March 25, 2022, he was found at a gas station with a gunshot wound right to his face. According to the victim's own account, someone broke into his bedroom and callously opened fire while he was fast asleep. Despite being rushed to the hospital, Archie Eversole did not survive and took his last breath on April 3, 2022. Police later arrested his brother, Alexander Krauss, right at the rapper's home and charged him with murder after discovering bloodstains on his socks. However, their mother firmly refused to believe her son was the killer. 62. Gunu. Markel Antonio Moro, operating professionally under the name Gunu, was an American rapper who made a massive impact on the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia rap scene thanks to his unique whisper rap flow and lyricism. His promising music career was brutally cut short on March 18, 2022. Gunu was shot and killed in the District Heights area of Maryland. As of now, authorities have yet to identify any suspects, and detectives are still continuing their investigation into this dead-end murder case. 63. Trouble. Mariel Samonte Orr, the hip-hop star from Atlanta bearing the stage name Trouble, had released 8 independent mixtapes before exploding in popularity with the platinum-certified single Key to the Streets featuring Migos and YFN Lucci. Tragedy struck on June 5, 2022, when Trouble was sound asleep in his girlfriend's apartment. He was critically shot and died at the hospital shortly after. A few days later, the killer turned himself in, and his identity shocked many. Jamichael Jones, the girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. According to testimony, Jones broke into the apartment, physically attacked both people lying in bed, before pulling a gun and shooting Trouble point blank in the chest and fleeing the scene. 64. Naughty Osama. Ethan Reyes, known by the stage name Naughty Osama, was a teen rapper from Harlem who rose to prominence after featuring on Sugar Hill Dedott's breakthrough single Toted in 2022. The pursuit of the feud-fueled drill music genre with its diss tracks and provocative lyrics is believed to be the indirect cause of his death. On July 9, 2022, while taking a walk with friends, Reyes spotted 15-year-old Kelvin Martinez, both supposedly belonging to rival gangs, and followed him down into a subway station. A brawl broke out, and Martinez used a knife to fatally stab Reyes in self-defense. Although Martinez's mother turned her son in and he was initially charged with murder, all charges were later completely dropped as the act was recognized by the court as justifiable self-defense. 65. Jada Youngin. Javorius Tykees Scott, the rapper famed with the stage name Jada Youngin, thanks to his 2019 double platinum hit 23 Island, became the victim of a ruthless purge on July 27, 2022. While hanging out with his father, the artist was ambushed by a group of 5 gunmen. Although both tried to run inside the house, they were trapped by 2 other gunmen rushing from the side. Deafening gunshots rang out. Even though his father was also armed and tried to shoot back to protect his son, he took 2 bullets to the arm, while Scott took 8 bullets straight to the body. The rapper was rushed to the hospital but did not survive, and to this day, this chilling murder remains in the dark, much like countless other hip-hop tragedies. 66 PnB Rock. Rakim Hashim Allen, also known as PnB Rock, was a major name signed to Atlantic Records, possessing the 3X platinum hit Selfish, 2016, and known for his habit of flaunting expensive jewelry on social media. That vain passion cost him his life on September 12, 2022, while having lunch with his girlfriend at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in South Los Angeles. The location-tagged photo his girlfriend accidentally posted on Instagram lured the robbers straight to them. They pulled guns demanding valuables, and after a struggle, PnB Rock was shot down and died at the hospital. Police arrested 3 suspects, including Freddie Trone and his 17-year-old son, despite initially denying the crime and claiming to only be an accessory after the fact. Freddie Trone was finally convicted on all charges in August 2024, including first-degree murder, robbery, and conspiracy. 67 Takeoff. Kurznik Kari Ball, the superstar bearing the stage name Takeoff, was the youngest member of the legendary hip-hop trio Migos, alongside his uncle Quavo and Offset, a group that once dominated the Billboard charts with a slew of mega hits like Motorsport, Stir Fry, Walk It Talk It, and Bad and Bougé, earning 2 Grammy nominations. Yet, his brilliant career ended unjustly on November 1, 2022, in a shooting at a bowling alley in Houston. Police arrested 34-year-old Patrick Clark, with security camera evidence showing him holding a wine bottle in one hand and firing a gun with the other, though this suspect continued to maintain his innocence. In early 2023, Clark posted bail and is currently under house arrest with a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. 68 Earl Swavey. Earl Hatton, also known by his stage name Earl Swavey, was a young talent who showed early promise and released his debut mixtape, Business Before Pleasure, at just 17 years old. The rapper's life ended on January 9, 2022, when he was driving a car with a few passengers and was suddenly attacked by gunfire. The car lost control, crashing into a parked RV, while a copper bullet lodged straight into his heart. The psychological trauma and physical impact of the crash also contributed to his tragic death. Authorities determined this was a gang-related purge, but further details were not disclosed, leaving immense grief from peers on social media. 69 Kee Riches. Kee Riches was not only a rapper who started his career at 15 or 16, but also a passionate athlete from Compton, and the founder of the clothing brand and record label Get Rich. This young artist with many ambitions was shot dead on September 24, 2022, right near the 1500 block on South Avenue in Compton. At the scene of the shooting, another man was also killed, while a woman luckily survived. Although an investigation was launched, to this day it remains unclear if police have zeroed in on any suspects. 70 Edot Baby. Edward Johnson, who grew up in Harlem's Sugar Hill area and was known by the stage name Edot Baby, quickly became a shining star of drill music at just 15 years old with his debut single Ready for War. In a short time, he continuously dropped quality albums like E with the Dot and You Started, I Finish, along with a slew of impressive hits. However, despite the brilliant future waiting ahead, on November 3, 2022, this 17-year-old teenager chose the most tragic end by shooting himself in the head. He was rushed to a hospital in Harlem but was pronounced dead, leaving a massive shock for the underground music scene. 71 TDott Woo. Taj Dobson, famous under the stage name TDott Woo, was not only a talented drill rapper but also a dancer who made a powerful impression when he appeared in his close friend Pop Smoke's Welcome to the Party music video in 2019. The young man's life ended in a heartbreaking tragedy on February 1, 2022, just a few short hours after joyfully signing a recording contract with $1 Million Music. In a drive-by shooting on Avenue L near East 98th Street in Canarsie, Brooklyn, TDott Woo was shot in the head and left knee. Despite moving tributes from peers like Fivio Foreign, this murder case remains deadlocked with no suspects arrested. 72 Chii Wvttz. Jaquan McKinley, the ambitious 18-year-old rapper of the New York drill scene, bearing the stage name Chii Wvttz, worked closely with rising Bronx stars like K Flock and Dougie B on tracks like Blitz M and Don't Trip. Just 5 days after the murder of TDott Woo, New York City, already submerged in violence, was rocked again when McKinley was shot dead right inside a recording studio in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn on February 6, 2022. Overcome with grief at his son's death, his father appeared on Fox 5 to harshly condemn the drill music movement, calling it the devil's music, and bitterly exclaiming that their hip-hop was no longer hip-hop anymore. 73. M.BK. Born and raised in the Bronx, the young rapper bearing the stage name M.BK made significant impacts early in the music scene through songs like Off the Mudavy and the Mud P2. His budding career was brutally cut short on July 5, 2023, in the Fordham Heights neighborhood, when a white car glided by and stopped next to him. A gunman sitting in the passenger seat cold-bloodedly fired a bullet into the artist's leg. Although paramedics tried their best to save him, M.BK took his last breath right at the scene, while a young man accompanying him luckily survived this attack of unknown motive. 74. Julio Foolio. Charles Andrew Jones II, Julio Foolio, was a rapper from Jacksonville and a member of the 6 Block Gang, who frequently incorporated local gang conflicts and notorious feuds, especially with ATK and 1200, into his music. On June 23, 2024, while hosting a birthday party and publicizing the location on social media, the artist walked into an ambush at a hotel parking lot in Tampa. Surveillance video showed 5 suspects dressed in black, wearing masks and carrying 2 semi-automatic rifles and a handgun, having traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa to carry out this bloody assassination for revenge. Police arrested 3 attackers, while 2 others remain highly wanted. 75. Tana God. Aliana Green, a rising female rapper from Oakland bearing the stage name Tana God, was the creator of albums like Exalted and Unprecedented, famous for her passionate efforts to support Black entrepreneurs in the community. On July 13, 2024, she accepted an invitation to perform at the grand opening of the Glamour Beauty Supply Store on Telegraph Avenue in Oakland and posted the schedule on social media for fans to join the fun. Ironically, this very announcement attracted her killer. A man in a hoodie walked through the gate and opened fire while she was performing, taking the life of the talented female artist at the hospital. 5 days later, suspect Dominic Gates, BNC4 Nero, with 3 prior convictions, was arrested and charged with murder, though the true motive has yet to be announced by authorities. 76 half-ounce. Letarisha O'Brien, a rapper known by the stage name Half Ounce with the single roll call, had a past involving street gangs like the Piru and Bloods, but decided to leave the underworld behind in 2020 to focus on developing his music career. That path to redemption couldn't save his life. When on October 3, 2024, he and a friend pulled over near his apartment in Koreatown and were tailed by a dark SUV. An assassin lay in wait, ensuring the artist clearly saw his face before firing at point-blank range, killing O'Brien on the spot. Police arrested Dennis Reisinger and Anthony King, a former friend of the victim, whom the rapper's mother accused of suggesting O'Brien hand over tens of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and cash in a prior robbery, leading to fiery exchanges of insults on Instagram and a deeply tragic end. 77. Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Chicago underground rapper Bloodhound Lil Jeff is another heartbreaking victim of the gang violence epidemic besieging the streets where he lived. In a horrifying shooting that took place on the 6600 block of South Rhodes Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, the artist became a human shield when he was shot approximately 15 times. Although he was rushed to the emergency room, the extremely severe wounds forced medical authorities to confirm his death shortly after, leaving boundless sorrow for his close friend Lil Scoom 89 and the fan community. 78. Lil Scoom 89. Lil Scoom 89 was an explosive young talent, famous for his raw vocal tone and highly energetic performances on the Chicago rap stage. On July 7, 2024, just a month after the death of his best friend Bloodhound Lil Jeff, the rapper and a friend got into an altercation with a young man on the street in the Chatham area. When the Uber car arrived to pick them up and Lil Scoom had just turned his back to walk away after talking to his girlfriend, a barrage of deafening gunshots rang out from all sides. The 16-year-old youth was hit and could not survive despite being rushed to the emergency room. What is infuriating is that although police and even SWAT forces spotted and vigorously pursued the suspect, the shooter ultimately slipped away inexplicably. 79. Lil Zelli. Having harbored a burning passion for music since middle school and amassed a loyal following on SoundCloud through mixtapes like More Zelli and Side Effects, Lil Zelli is the next name on this grim list. On January 17, 2025, officers on patrol discovered the rapper's white BMW riddled with bullet holes. Upon closer inspection of the scene, they found Lil Zelli's body inside the vehicle, along with the body of a woman a short distance away. Unlike so many unsolved murders in the rap scene, suspect Kaloyan Dimov Stoyev was quickly apprehended and is currently facing multiple firearms charges as well as first-degree murder, capping off a chilling string of tragedies that has claimed far too many talents in American music. 80. G-Liil Ronnie. Ronnie Sibley, a rapper operating under the stage name G-Liil Ronnie, suffered an incredibly tragic and infuriating end on March 3, 2025. While stopping at a car wash in the Forest Hill area, Texas, he walked into a killer's ambush and was mercilessly gunned down. The most cruel tragedy lies not only in taking the artist's life, but those ruthless bullets also claimed the little life of his 5-year-old daughter who was accompanying her father. This cold-blooded shooting crossed all boundaries of normal gang rivalry, sounding a chilling alarm about the extreme brutality of street violence. 81. Lotto Savage. Just over 2 weeks after the bloody tragedy in Texas, the hip-hop community was once again stunned by the fall of Lotto Savage on March 19, 2025. This 36-year-old rapper became the target of a violent attack at an apartment complex in Decatur, in the bustling metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia. Hit by countless bullets, Lotto Savage collapsed and took his last breath right in the residential complex, closing the life of an artist and leaving behind yet another murder case file that extends the Grim Reaper's list with no sign of stopping in the American rap scene. 82. T-Hood. The nightmare of deafening gunshots in the Atlanta area continued to haunt artists when a few months later, in August 2025, the name T-Hood, real name Tevin Hood, had to appear on crime obituary news. As a passionate 33-year-old rapper widely known to the public through a slew of viral tracks in the Atlanta area, his musical future was entirely and unjustly cut short. T-Hood was shot dead right at a home in Snellville, Georgia, once again highlighting the extremely harsh, dark reality full of lurking dangers that hip-hop artists face every single day. Their departure leaves behind too massive a void, but their musical legacy will certainly live on forever. Which talent on today's list do you feel the most regret for? Leave a comment sharing your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so we can look back at the ups and downs of entertainment legends in the next videos.